All right. How y'all doing, man? Hello. Shout out to all the society dwellers out there. It's Cato of Blame Society. And this is something new. This is something different that I think I want to do moving forward. And the idea is giving people who want more, but in a sense of not necessarily more music per se, but just more of me, more of what we're doing, just so you guys can be more in the loop on what's going on and so that you feel included. And I'll get more into detail about that. But the title of this series moving forward is be something like things that I did this week for my music business. Pretty simple and straightforward, but you'd be surprised at how much we do on a regular basis. And as somebody with a full-time job, as a parent, as a spouse, um, time, it just never feels like it's on our side. So I have to really scramble and move in between events, in between my life, basically to do the things that I need to get done to move forward in this process. Um, and with that being said, I wanted to make sure that I take the time to maybe document it, and for the future, for my future self, and just for you guys, that are interested, so that you get to have a piece of the pie and be in the moment with me. So with that being said, let's jump right in, fam. So this week I did several things this week. I think one of the coolest things I did this week was number one was, and I got my notes in front of me. And no, I said I was gonna get to that later. Let's see, what did I do this week? Okay. So one of the first things we need to address is the Wrong One release party. So we had the release party. Today is the 4th. Oh my God, it is not the 4th. It is the 8th. So that was maybe 2 weeks ago. Man, time is moving so fast. But I'm going to talk about it anyway, because what happened there kind of directly affected what I'm doing right now. So anyway, we had the release party for Wrong One. That's Sasha Monique featuring me, Cato, Wrong One, which is out which is out on all platforms right now. So if you haven't listened to the studio version yet and you've only heard it live or you only heard fragments, go stream it and then come back and leave a comment, right? Let me know how you feel about it. But anyway, there's so much more work to do with that track as far as like bringing it to the public and things like that. But right now it's available everywhere, so you can go check it out. I want to say shout out to everybody that did come out. You know what I'm saying? My family came out, which was crazy. My brother, his partner, my two sisters showed up with their friends. Damo was there in the cut. You hear me? It was beautiful to see him. And somebody who was at my first show when I first started popping out. This was back in 2015. This cat named Sergio Jameson, aka Serge Jordan, aka just Serge, and he is a phenomenal human being. And I want to say he lives in Vegas right now, but he's originally from St. Louis, and he had moved a long time ago. But we had exchanged information in 2015, and we had basically stayed in touch this entire time. And I would mix some of his songs and things like that. And we just had a business relationship like that. We never got a chance to like physically work with each other and record, but he is a phenomenal inspiration as far as like his stage presence, the way he works with people, his visuals are beautiful. His collaborations with other artists are just amazing as well. So if you haven't checked him out, please do. He's definitely one of my favorite people. And he was out here. I mean, he had his son was graduating, so that's why he was in town, which shout out to his son for completing that rite of passage. You feel me? The real world is knocking, you hear me? So do something with your life, bro, which I'm sure you will. And but anyway, he was in town for his son's graduation, and then he had popped out to see us first, which was amazing. So that was cool. And he had took some footage. Dog, shout out to you again for the footage, bro. It's beautiful. I'm so excited. I can't wait to share that with everybody. He had did some footage, and it was just really nice to see him there in the cut with us, man. Because I haven't seen him in almost 10 years. I think July would be 10 years. No, yes, something like that. So it was cool seeing him. So we did it. We shut down the joint, bro. I did Something to Hold. I did a little poetry piece, an excerpt from another song. Sasha did 3 joints, two and a half, because she did Wrong One, of course, with me. But then she had like two other songs that I haven't got to chance, at least to see one of them where she performed live. So that was beautiful. Like she killed it. Anyway, after that, we just kind of play music, we vibe and we chilling, and people start to leave, and something crazy happens in a good way. Something cool happens, I should say. So there was this person, and please forgive me because I'm not going to be able to recall your name, but I don't know if it's the artist name, but on Instagram they go by Trap Bank, which is cool. And they had approached me and was saying that, hey, they were inspired by the songs, the message, and how they too wanted to like talk about different things, and just there's more out here to talk about than violence and substances, basically. And I was like, heck yeah, man, I'm down, and send me whatever you got so I can take a listen to see where you're coming from. And maybe even I can provide a service of like recording you. I explain my whole setup, which is a mobile studio at this point, because I don't have a physical setup anymore as far as like a room, which is fine. I found I can get a lot done with just a microphone and some headphones. I got some studio monitors that bang, I can turn up to, so I can get a lot done. So that was a good conversation. And then I talked to another cat named King Ruben, who I saw perform at Tuesday's Word Up back in April, the 1st of April. And so he was just kind of chilling with me. We was talking. And one of the things he had brought up was support, and how at this point in his career, he feels like nobody is, especially like close people, friends and family aren't really supporting him. And I explained to him, I was like, I feel that, I felt like that for a very long time. And there's many reasons why we feel like that. And for me, one of the biggest reasons was this embarrassment and shame of like still being an artist, after high school, because it's like this pressure of like, you got to make it. And if you don't make it at a certain age or time, it's kind of like you failed, you flopped. And if it's anything I've learned in these last 5 years, is that is utter nonsense. It's not about making it. It's not about being famous. It's not about it's about creating a sustainable lifestyle by doing something that you love to do, And once that clicks, man, you'd be surprised at how grateful you become, because it's like, bro, I'm living my dream right now, which is a blessing. So anyway, I'm talking to King Ruben, and I start to tell him how I felt the same way. My family, I felt like they didn't understand. They didn't really care. I think that's really what it was. I felt like they didn't care until I started doing 32 weeks, and I started getting, a lot of interactions from them. I felt like they started to see that I was serious, that I took this, very, very seriously. And so they wanted to support. And once that happened, man, I was like, oh my God, no, they do care. I think they just didn't know that I cared enough to really pursue this. And so once I made my change internally of really just kind of going in with the understanding that the world may not care, but there will be somebody who hears the message and they're going to love it and they're going to love you. And that is why we keep going. Besides the fact that the music itself is what keeps me sane. That's what helps me through life. Most of the songs that I create help me. And I'll never forget that. It's always what's the word I'm looking for? When you're here, goosebumps. It's always a goosebumps moment when I'm going through something or I'm feeling like something and one of my songs plays and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And it's always a positive message for myself. So I explained to him my whole situation. He's like, oh, okay. And that was a really good moment. And so he was looking for beats as well. I was like, dude, I don't have beats, but I'll put you in touch with Damo. So hopefully he hits Damo up and Damo hooks him up. So with that being said, this takes us to something else that the first thing I guess technically done, I've done this week for my music business. And that is creating a schedule, signing up for a scheduling app to help me schedule and book appointments for recording and or mixing sessions. I've been recording myself for many years now, and every once in a while I'll get a client that wants me to record them. I used to do it a lot back in like 2015, 16, 17. It kind of slowed up because I didn't lean into the mobile studio as much. But now that I am, I feel like I'm ready to start meeting people where they are and just start recording. And with that being said, I needed a way to passively get people to engage with me in that way if they're interested and offer it up front. And so that's what I did. So I set me up a Calendly. I'm saying that word wrong, but the this calendar app, okay? And basically you schedule appointments. And so I put 2 on a calendar already. Me and Sasha and Rich, we're gonna have a session Monday night. We gotta do some things for Wrong One. And then the 14th, I'm meeting up with my sisters and Damo. We're supposed to be doing some recording as well. So I'm excited. And then I got the homie Clintus, aka Jared. I call him Jared the Poet. That's who he is in my phone. And I got him to schedule an appointment too for me to record him. He's going to record some poetry. So I'm really excited because here we are. Like I put a system in place and I'm using it, which is freaking awesome. Okay. So that's number one. Number two that I've done this week for my music business is, let's see here. Oh, okay. So I have been going through, and so my mixing style kind of changed towards the end of the big mixing portion of this album, right? The album is about 15 tracks. It's a beast, okay? And I'm thinking about somebody. A lot of people ask, like, dude, why aren't you doing singles? And it's like, I probably should, but I love putting a cohesive project together. I like telling a full story, and I like to have and take my time with it. I think between the next album that comes, I think I will release some more singles, especially after I tell you this portion right here in a second. But first, so I'm on track number 10 now. I want to say 10 is probably done, but I've been going back and just touching up on all of them, switching up some of the plugins and settings I have on my vocals just to make them more lighter and brighter and bring them to life. And so once I finish that, then we'll be gearing up to get it mastered. And then we'll be looking at a release date, which takes me to the next part I wanted to talk to you guys about, which I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's okay. I want to do a listening party. I talked about doing a release party, and I'm like, that's cool, but I think I want to take like a handful of people that really love and care about what we're doing and sit them down and hold them at gunpoint. I'm joking. Seriously though, give them the opportunity to listen through the album all the way through and get their feedback, get their critiques, answer some questions, see if it makes sense to them, and if they understand what we're doing and what I'm doing, and proceed that way. And I want to make it small and intimate, and also give them a big offering as well for their time. So that I'm thinking about like some merch stuff. I'm thinking about some food. Obviously, you gotta have food, probably some drinks, maybe even buy a couple drinks. If not, bring my own and make my own mixed drinks if I can. We'll see how that goes. But I'm really considering that and wanting to make it a whole thing. It's not going to be free, of course, but I want to make sure that for every cent that you pay for that ticket, your time is valued and you feel like, you leave there like, I love it. One of the last performances I did, somebody who has popped out a few times and really show that they care about what I'm doing. They say, next time I see you, I want some more. I want to see more. I want more than just a couple songs. So I don't know if they was saying they want like a concert from me, which that'll come later, but I think this is a step in the right direction for that, and for everybody else who really wants more, not just music, but more of me. Because I know I neglect the socials. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard. I don't like being on my phone, which some people know that. Some people might not know that because you probably see me on my phone. But I'm really trying to use my phone for like business purposes and really grow in that aspect. I hate using my phone. So, but anyway, that's my goal. I want to do a listening session, and more info on that is to come once I get everything ironed out. So stay tuned for those who are really interested and want to be involved, because that is going to be for my day ones, the people who really, 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 really want to get in as a day one before this album drops. You feel me? On top of that, okay, here's the biggest thing that I've done this week for my music business, and that is take the steps to actually make it a true business, man. So, working with Sasha and her partner JD, they're really big activists in the community and things like that, and they are just wonderful people. Like, if you ever get a chance to meet them, you'll agree that they're just amazing, beautiful people with beautiful spirits and hearts who are really trying to make a difference in the world, not just through music, but through activism, advocacy, and human rights and animal rights. Okay. So anyway, one day, couple weeks ago, I get a notification from my Cash App that I had just received a lump sum of money from JD. And I was like, oh, snap. I hit him up immediately and was like, hey, was this a mistake? Like, did you add an extra zero on accident? Like, and he was like, nah. He's like, that's for you, man. We're grateful for you. And I'm like, whoa. So I had to like tell a couple more people just to make sure I ain't tripping. Like, should I, I want to receive this, but should I be cautious or should I just accept it? I let it sit for a while, but then I took it as a sign that, this is what I needed to do what I was supposed to do. Right. So in the loop, that event was to help raise funds for me to start the business. And gratefully, it actually did give me a nice chunk of change, to do what I needed to do. Shout out to everybody who popped out for that and supported. That's how I met Sasha and JD. You feel me? So it's only been a blessing and just gratitude to do that show, that event. Shout out to Quite Frankly for performing. Shout out to Ferris, the artist, for performing. Shout out to Meso Supreme for performing. They killed it, did a beautiful job. And all of that contributed to where we are right now. You feel me? And so with that being said, with the money I earned from In the Loop plus the lump sum that I had got for the gratitude working with them, I had enough to take the steps to get my LLC. And so that's what I did this week. I got my virtual mailbox. People, if you get it, you don't. If you don't understand, go look it up and you'll see why that's important. Got me a virtual mailbox. I got me a web hosting service for the website through Google. Oh my God. I actually did that 2 weeks ago. And then the biggest thing was getting a registered agent to help file the paperwork for the LLC. And they'll be like a representative in receiving my mail and things like that for the business. So I have an address. I have a phone number now for B.L.A.M.E. Society. It's crazy seeing it. And then on top of that, I think when I first initially saw it, when I submitted it, the LLC information to get that stuff formed, it said the 13th of June. I would know if it went through or not. I looked today and it said the 17th. So I'm gonna be patient regardless. I'm just hoping that everything goes smoothly. And then the next step from there is get the bank account. Once we get that bank account, it's like legit. Outside of what else did I do this week? Outside of the business things, there was one more business thing I did. Let's see. Mailbox, email, the Calendly, which I can't say. And I'm forgetting something important too. I got my EIN number. I filled out my W-9 and I have my EIN number as well. So I have like these little pieces that add up to the big thing, baby. Like we're going legit for real. So that's the update on the LLC, man. I can't wait to get that finalized. Hopefully next time I talk to you guys, I'll have it done. Let's see what's left here. The last thing I did was learn. Okay. There's a couple things I do to learn. Oh, there's two more things I did. Sorry, but we'll talk about the learning first. Basically, there's like 3 podcasts, maybe even 4 that I toggle between as far as for knowledge for like growing as an artist, growing as a business, and growing in my knowledge of the music business entirely. Okay. And one of the first things that I want to talk about, and I'm gonna make it quick because these videos I want to be 10 to 15 minutes and I'm already at 18 minutes. So this YouTube channel called Top Music Attorney, I'm probably gonna mess her name up. I think it's Christina. I forgot. It's something Delgado, but she's the top music attorney. She's an entertainment lawyer. And she does a lot of videos and deep dives on the terms and services on a lot of musician-based tools that we use. So, for instance, if you want to release music to, say, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, officially, and when I say officially, I mean that for YouTube, you can put anything on YouTube. But for Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, things like that, you have to go through what they call a distributor. And that's the middleman. And there's no way around it because they are the ones that make the deals with these digital platforms that we all love. I say that sarcastically. As a consumer, we love it, but as an artist, it's a pain. Because so much is valued off of streams, but the streams don't always tell the full story. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, Actually, it is. It is, because when it comes to these distributors, what you guys have to remember is, and I've talked about it before, is they know that artists are slightly delusional. And so we're going to pay for their services because we don't have a choice if we want to get our music out there, because we think and we hope that our music will be discovered. And they make a lot of promises and they have a lot of features to maybe bring that dream to reality. On the flip side of that is, if you don't make the money you need to make through streaming, which you won't, because you can do the math. There's like, I forgot how much you need, like 1,000 you need so many streams just to get $100, fam. Like, it's not streaming, it's not where it's at. Okay. But anyway, in this particular episode, she was talking about AI music and how the big music companies are trying to use it. And it's just crazy. I think she had brought up Lander for just, I'm gonna just give one example and I'm gonna move on. She brought up Lander, which used to be just a mastering company. Now they distribute music and their terms of service is ridiculous. But she brings up how some of these companies are partnering with Timberland. Timberland came up too, because y'all know he has this new artist that's an AI artist, and he's launching this whole company based off of AI music, right? And I'm not going into that conversation right now, but it's just weird and it's hard to kind of wrap my head around it. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But anyway, she breaks down the scariness that goes into some of these platforms that are taking artists' music and using it to teach AI basically their songs, so that they in the future can create their own music with their AI and make music, make money off of it. Like, it's crazy. She tells it a lot better. If you're interested in that stuff, I say check her out. My other guy that I like to follow is Casey Graham of what does he call his platform? His is the music money makeover, something like that. His tagline is like, if you make music, you should always make money. And I'm like, dog, where's the lie? Right? He's a big inspiration. Low key, I'm following his blueprint to help get where I need to go. And one of the things he talks about a lot is the D2C, which is direct to consumer or direct to fan model, which is what we're doing right here, right? Like, my goal is to get to a place where, for instance, we have the newsletter. That's a free tier, right? That's, everybody can access that. It's nothing. I just need an email, maybe first and last name. I might add phone number on there later, but something simple, something free, right? From there, we have what this is right here, where I'm going to do the vlog, and those who are interested might pay a subscription to get access to that, because this is like personal, right? Intimate. And my goal is to do it live so that I can talk to you and get your questions, give you answers real time. And maybe we just talk and just catch up and just communicate with each other. You know what I'm saying? Just to build that community and that sense of like, oh no, like, he really cares and he wants to hear from us. Like, I do, because that's the only way this works. So shout out to Casey Graham. And the other one was this guy, I forgot his name, but his podcast is called The Manager's Playbook on YouTube. And his videos are phenomenal. His interviews are amazing. I think I've watched a few interviews just this past week, but the one I watched today, he interviewed the guy who signed Jay-Z and signed Sam. Oh, I can't think of his last name. Don't hate me, y'all. The guy who sings Unholy, that guy. I'm gonna say Sam Wilson, but I don't think that's it. It's Sam something. But y'all know who he is. Okay, y'all know who he is. Anyway, he breaks down like that whole process, and this is what I mean. Like, so the top music attorney is like information to help me be a better artist and better music business person. Same thing with Casey Graham, right? And then watching videos and interviews like the Manager's Playbook podcast just kind of gives you information about the music business as a whole, and just like, and you catch a lot of gems that way. And so that's what I've done for my music, man, this week. I think I've hit them all. Did I hit everything? Yeah, we hit everything. So I'm grateful I got to keep this under 30 minutes. But so what I'm gonna do is, this is free. I'm gonna upload this, but I just want y'all to know this is, I think, the new move I'm gonna try to make. If you feeling it, give me a thumbs up or a fire emoji in the comments. You hear me? And we'll go from there. Peace.